When HYBE dropped their third quarter financial report in November 2025, K-pop fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. ADOR, the label behind NewJeans, had pulled in over $16 million in revenue during a quarter with no new music releases or major promotions from the group, just legal battles and silence. The question everyone's asking now is simple but loaded. If NewJeans can make that kind of money while basically on hiatus, what happens when 3 of the 5 members might not even want to come back? The numbers from HYBE's quarterly disclosure paint a picture that doesn't make sense at first glance. ADOR reported 24.4 billion Korean won in revenue, roughly $16.7 million, with a net profit of 4.5 billion won. To put that in perspective, that's in the same ballpark as Source Music's profit of 6.1 billion won. The label managing Lesser FM, one of the hottest groups in K-pop right now, except Lesser FM actually promoted this year. They had comebacks, fan meets, variety show appearances. NewJeans had court dates and Instagram posts. The comparison becomes even more striking when you look at what other HYBE labels accomplished. Big Hit Music, home to BTS and TXT, brought in 322 billion won in revenue with a net profit of 23 billion won. Pledis Entertainment, managing 17 and TWS, posted 227 billion won in revenue and an impressive 46 billion won in net profit. Belift Lab with Hee-jin and ALIT generated 114 billion won in revenue. Every single one of these labels had active groups releasing music, holding concerts, appearing on shows. ADOR had a group in legal limbo, and still managed to turn a profit that made analysts do double takes. Fans started theorizing immediately about where this money came from. Some pointed to advertising deals filmed before the conflict exploded. NewJeans had been brand ambassadors for major companies like Coca-Cola, Levi's, and various luxury fashion houses. Those contracts don't just disappear overnight, and residual payments from campaigns shot months earlier would still be flowing in. Others mentioned residual income from previous album sales and merchandise that kept selling. Despite the drama, their albums from 2023 and early 2024 continued moving units both physically and digitally. Streaming revenue from their massive catalog of hits like Ditto, OMG, Super Shy, and ETA continued rolling in month after month across platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and Melon. Some Korean forum users even joked it was almost pure profit from a group stuck in limbo, because hardly any new promotion costs went out while old income kept rolling in. No music video production budgets. No styling costs for comeback stages. No travel expenses for international promotions. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. NewJeans became more profitable by doing nothing than some groups who worked themselves to exhaustion all year. Right in the middle of this chaos, NewJeans picked up an award at the 2025 Korea Grand Music Awards that sparked immediate controversy. The group won Trend of the Year in the K-pop category on November 14th, an honor supposedly reflecting consistent influence throughout the year based on cumulative global fan voting across the monthly Trend of the Month results. The ceremony's organizers defended the choice by pointing to NewJeans' continued streaming dominance and social media presence, noting that their past releases still charted well and maintained strong listener engagement even without new material. Some Korean commenters argued that NewJeans hadn't done anything musically in 2025 and only dragged other idols into controversy, using very harsh language about them pulling other groups into their mess. One comment asked what they'd accomplished besides grabbing other idols by the hair and dragging them into a national audit. Another called the award bizarre, suggesting the ceremony was just trying to stay on HYBE's good side to ensure the company's bigger acts would attend future shows. A third commenter wrote that the only trend NewJeans set in 2025 was how to fight your own company and lose. Recent coverage of Korean forums and opinion pieces suggests domestic sentiment has shifted more negative, with critical comments now outnumbering supportive ones under NewJeans-related news. What started as sympathy for young artists caught in corporate warfare had curdled into frustration with what many saw as entitled behavior. International fans tried to defend the group, arguing that they were young women standing up against an exploitative industry. But the shift in Korea was clear. The cultural context matters here. Korean entertainment culture places enormous value on professionalism, respect for hierarchy, and fulfilling obligations. From that perspective, NewJeans' public battle against their agency looked less like brave resistance and more like immature rebellion. Here's where the money gets really interesting. When news broke that all 5 members would return, HYBE's stock price jumped around 6% in a single day. Korean finance reports confirmed shares rose by roughly 18,000 won to 309,000 won, adding hundreds of millions of dollars in market value. Investors clearly saw the full group's return as critical to HYBE's future earnings potential. Analysts started revising their projections for ADOR's future profitability. Reports from firms like Merit Securities suggested NewJeans could contribute around 6 to 7 billion won to HYBE's operating profit in 2026, and over 20 to 30 billion won annually from 2027 if activities fully resume with at least 2 comebacks and regular promotional schedules, expanded international touring, and continued high-value endorsement deals. Those numbers explain everything about why HYBE wants this resolved quickly and completely. Losing 3 members doesn't just mean losing talent and the group's carefully crafted image. It means losing billions in projected revenue, tanking investor confidence, and potentially sparking similar rebellions from other HYBE artists who might see NewJeans' partial victory as a blueprint for challenging their own contracts. But keeping 3 members who allegedly won't cooperate fully, or who might continue causing public relations headaches, means inviting more chaos, more legal battles, and more damage to HYBE's reputation as a stable, well-managed entertainment conglomerate. According to some Korean reports citing unnamed industry sources, 3 members have allegedly asked for Hee-jin to be involved again in a producer role as part of their return conditions. ADOR hasn't publicly confirmed those details, which has only fueled more speculation. Hee-jin is the former ADOR CEO and the creative director behind NewJeans' entire concept, visual identity, and musical direction. She's the one who scouted the members, shaped their sound, and built their brand from scratch. To the members, especially the 3 who delayed their return announcement, Min represents artistic vision, creative freedom, and someone who actually understood and protected their interests. To HYBE, Min became a symbol of insubordination after she publicly accused the company of mistreating NewJeans and attempting to replace them with other groups. Korean forum discussions became brutal, with users debating whether ADOR should just move forward with Harin and Hee-jin, maybe add new members through auditions, and rebrand entirely as a new version of NewJeans, or even under a completely different name. The business logic made sense to many. You keep the 2 members who showed loyalty, you avoid constant conflict with 3 who might never fully commit, and you move forward with a clean slate. Others argued that NewJeans without all 5 members isn't really NewJeans, that the group's chemistry, vocal blend, choreography dynamics, and public image all depend on the full lineup. Replacing members in K-pop isn't unheard of, but it's always risky and often fails to recapture the original magic. What's clear is that this isn't just about music or creativity anymore. It's about control, money, leverage, and who gets to decide the future of a brand worth hundreds of millions. Every decision HYBE makes now sets a precedent for how they'll handle similar situations in the future, and they know the entire industry is watching. On the flip side, many fans worry that forcing a reunion that nobody wants could backfire badly. To many fans and commentators, it feels like the group is still caught between ADOR's corporate interests and Hee-jin's creative vision, which makes any long-term stability look uncertain. A group with internal divisions, where members don't trust each other or their management, risks further implosion in a way that makes this current mess look tame. History is full of K-pop groups that technically stayed together but clearly hated each other, and fans can always tell. The performances feel stiff, the variety show interactions seem forced, and eventually everyone just wants it to end. NewJeans' next comeback, whenever it happens, will be watched more closely than any debut in K-pop history. Every interaction between members will be analyzed for signs of tension or genuine warmth. Every absence from group activities will spark rumors about who's refusing to participate. Every interview answer will be dissected for hidden meanings and subtle digs at management or each other.